Hi everyone. I'm going to get ready to plant some stuff today. I have one more bed to plant. Um, so I'm just getting dressed and making sure that I don't have spiders in my shoes. And then I'm gonna head out, and I don't exactly have a plan for this bed. Some things I'd like to have planted that I eat that have not been planted are some sort of lettuce, cabbage, celery, potatoes, dill. But unfortunately, all that stuff cannot be planted together for the most part. So we'll see. But yeah, let's head out. Put you right here while I get my stuff. So I've also kind of invested in some garlic, but unfortunately that ship has sailed. I can't plant this right now. It's too late in the season. It won't work. So I'll either have to scrap these in my compost or save them for the fall, right? You plant garlic in the fall, leave it there over winter, it pops up in the spring. Here's how I organize my seeds, and I say that kind of generally because it's not very organized. This method works if you keep up with it, but I tend to throw stuff around and not. God, not cussing's kind of hard, right? Not used to that. So, anyways, I know I don't look that cute. Whatever. So, I have an empty garden bed, and I think that's a wasp flying around me. I want to plant something in it. I really would like to have potatoes, but I've only successfully grown potatoes, believe it or not, in Nevada in bags. And I would love to grow them here. I do have bags. I need to get some soil. You should see my compost soil pile. One of my biggest failures. I'll show it to you one day when I'm less embarrassed about it and it's not a sensitive topic. But let's see what we could do in this garden bed, right? Potatoes are out. We can't put potatoes in there. Cabbage, it may be too late, but I have officially eaten through all of my cabbage. I can cabbage into like coleslaws and sauerkrauts, and I've eaten it all. It took me 2 years to eat it all from what I previously canned. And to can that amount for me to eat through, because I don't eat it that often, that I do when I barbecue, I only use like 2 heads of cabbage, so that's really all I need is 2, but I know they take up like a lot of room. Let me see. What a mess. What a mess this is. Here we go. Fresh Market Hybrid Green Cabbage. Oh, and then I also have a red cabbage. These may not be good anymore. I got them from Johnny Seeds in 2021. I've hardly bought any new seeds this year because I literally spent like so much money on seeds and failed, and I don't know. So we can try to grow these two. Maybe like in the middle of the bed, and then we can plant something around it, right? Because I know they take up a lot of space, and maybe we'll do like a couple and see which ones germinate, if they germinate at all. And then I'd like to, I know it's too late for lettuce, but maybe I can do like Swiss chard. I don't think you're supposed to plant kale next, or not kale, spinach next to cabbage. So let me see if I have chard. I've got a lot of kale. I've successfully grown kale in the desert. But it's definitely a cool weathered crop, so. Oh, here's some cabbage from the dollar store. Maybe we can try that too and see which ones germinate. Since I'm documenting it, I'll be able to know, right? Lettuce, arugula, leeks, spinach, romaine, chard. I do have Swiss chard. It says April through June, so we'll plant that. And I need to get some dill. That's one herb I'm missing from my garden that I desperately use when I can pickles, even though I think my cucumbers are going to be a failure. And I use it to make ranch. I make homemade ranch, so it's not like such a granny. Whatever. I think that's what we'll put in that bed. Right? Yeah. Cantaloupe. I don't even eat cantaloupe. I don't know why I have that. See, at one point I was growing stuff I don't even use, so it's just to see if I could do it. It's a waste, you know? Alright, so we're going to do dill, Swiss chard, 3 varieties of cabbage, and hopefully something pops up. If at least one thing germinates, then I'll be happy. This is a little late, but that's fine. Getting it done. So, it's super sunny out there, hence my getup. And, let's go. Mix up the soil a little bit. I could be very wrong about the companion planting of this and totally mess everything up, but you know, I actually just bought, I got it in the mail, a pitchfork. So I'm going to redo my compost bin, and the pitchfork I'm using is just something I found in the barn, and it's totally broken. So I got a new one. That's a whole nother project, but I think I should get that pitchfork, maybe unbox it with you guys and churn up the soil a little bit, right? It's like super nerdy stuff. I feel like it is. Let's unbox this pitchfork. I just got a little one from Walmart, walmart.com. So it might not be the best, but just using it for my compost, and we'll use it on this bed too. I don't know though, it seems kind of nice. So here it is. It's not as big as I thought, but you know, it'll work, right? It'll work. So I actually don't think I did the layering method in this bed at all. So technically, this bed should be really good for root vegetables, and that's what I should use it for. Like potatoes. Shoot. Is that what I should plant in here? Ugh. It's so hard to decide. I think what I'll do with the potatoes is put them in bags. I have some bags left. Some of them got destroyed in my shed. My shed back there is a whole nother issue and project. So many pests get in there, from snakes to rats to birds, and destroy stuff that I have in there. So let's see. Hopefully this bed will be okay. Some of my other beds are suffering. I did what I thought was the right amount of compost remover and topsoil in here. But it's a new bed. It's not one that's been decomposing for years, and some of my new beds are struggling with mold and stuff growing in it because the soil health is so important. And, you know, I'm still learning, so I don't have it exactly down yet, but I'm trying. I've definitely let my compost go more than I probably should have. But we're working on it. I wonder if marigolds, I have some marigolds right here. I could plant in here too. All right, so if I'm doing close planting, I typically use this thing called a seed square. And it helps me plant things super close together. Like I'll poke a hole in it and then put the seeds in that way, you know? But we're not really planting stuff super close together, right? So I'm just going to use it to measure out like a foot apart. I would think cabbages actually need to be at least a foot or more apart. Oh my gosh. Wait. Days to germinate, 10 to 15. Depths to sow, 1/4 inch. So I use this stick thing too. It has measurements in inches. Seed spacing, only 6 inches. But rows need to be 3 feet apart. Interesting. Thin seedlings when they are 4 inches in height, with final spacings of plants being 2 feet apart. Ah, okay. Avoid planting in garden where cabbage was grown the year before. So that's the same with tomatoes. You shouldn't be growing tomatoes like in the same spot every year. They tend to like accumulate diseases and stuff. So that makes the gardening hard too, because I plant tomatoes like freaking everywhere. And I'll have to plan to not plant them in the same place twice, you know, and give the soil a break. So the cabbages will have to go somewhere else too. So they need to be, you know, essentially 2 feet apart. So I could actually probably fit 4 in this bed if I'm keeping it in the middle, I would think. So I'm going to do, you know, some here, some here, some here, some there. And I would prefer red cabbage, so I will plant that twice and hope for the best. Then we'll plant the green, and then we'll plant the dollar store green. And then Swiss chard. Who knows if this is too hot to plant here. It says April, June. Same with the, wait, what does the cabbage say to do? Yeah, April, June. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm going to do dill back here for the flowers. Keep flowers. I try to keep flowers all in the back, except a little bit of marigolds up front here. Swiss chard, I'm going to do... Whoop! That was a butterfly. Dumb. I don't think that one's a monarch, but she sure is pretty. Row of Swiss chard, row of Swiss chard, dill. Leave this front open for something. Marigolds. I don't know. Gotta start using my knee pad. Alright. Let's get her done. Alright. Should have got gloves. We'll do it right there. Then we'll do the Swiss chard with the seed square. Wait, late cabbage. This is called late cabbage. We'll see. It's going to take 2 weeks to germinate if it'll even work. So I'll put quite a bit of seeds in there and hope for the best, right? Water this really good. These dollar store packs never give you jack. but that's fine. I'll just put them all in there and hope for the best. So we got dollar store in the back, Johnny seeds in the front. I'm saying this mainly for me so I can document this. So I know what I planted. I know what will work, what won't work, what to throw out, what seeds are still good for my fall garden, etc., etc. I'm just use the whole pack because there's not that many in here. Oh shoot, there's a lot more right here. The sun's a little bit too much. I think I should come out here more so in the mornings to weed the garden rather than come out here at the peak of heat. But I tend to want to be the most productive outside, like during peak heat. I don't know why I do that to myself. I'm a morning person and I should want to do morning things, but in the morning, I always do my yoga and workouts and work. That's like the height of my productivity. I don't want to spend it in my garden, and then when I do spend it in the garden, I tend to get tired and not want to do the other things I have to do. So I have to find like a balance. Like, whoa, these seeds look weird. I wasn't expecting them to look like beet seeds. They almost look like, I don't know, like these big spiky balls of, I don't know, kind of looks like something a Pokemon would have. I don't know why I was expecting like a little lettuce seed for Swiss chard. I guess I've never grown Swiss chard. What does it even taste like? It says mixed colors too. I need to be more stingy with these seeds. Typically when I plant seeds, I plant, depending, if I want to be stingy, I'll do 2 and then hope that one of them germinates. And if I'm not being stingy and I have plenty, I'll plant 5, which I guess is probably a lot, but sometimes things don't germinate, you know, because you're planting it during the wrong season or temperature or whatever. Yeah, I only have this 1 pack of this, so I don't think I've ever grown this before. So I've grown kale, grew that in Vegas, which is crazy, and it went so well. And I grew spinach in Vegas too, and I thought it was so nasty, the spinach I grew. I don't know. It was like this really thick stem that was like a bright purple, and the leaves were like thick. It kind of tasted like I went out into like the rainforest and like picked a super lush thick leaf off a tree and like ate it. Like it was like not the vibe, you know. Maybe if I was a dinosaur I would have liked it. Like a star leaf. What were those leaves called in Land Before in Time that they treated as like such a treat? I feel like that's what it tasted like. So I only had enough for 1 row of Swiss chard. So I have so much more room in this bed than I thought. I'll have to come up with another plan for the whole other side. Because I feel like more than 4 cabbages is just too much for me. I don't need that much. That'll last me like a year, just me alone canning it. So I'll have to go back to planning what can go on the other side and what can go here. I can't remember. I know there's something that marigolds cannot grow next to, and I think it's cucumbers. But I am going to plant these and try to encourage, they need to be planted anyways, but I like to encourage some, oh, these roots, some pollinators to come here, you know. and get some. Put those there. Gonna have to water this bed. I don't water my garden that often because it rains so much. But it was supposed to rain today and looks like it's not. Gonna do it up to this corner, which I know is not centered in the bed, but I have a Swiss chard in that corner, so that'll do it. I'd like to get this watered since I just planted them. So let's do that. Oops. Huh. I wonder if this mic is on that I have on. Can you hear me? I'm just testing this as I'm walking away when I edit this or whatever. It's kind of cool. I've got all this equipment that like YouTubers and stuff use to film, and I don't. I use it for sinful things. And it's kind of cool to have it to make this garden content that I want to make, to document my garden, but I don't know if any of it's working. So for me, the heat is becoming almost unbearable. And that's probably because I'm dehydrated, which is a me problem. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do everything I wanted to do out here today. I wanted to get some backups planted, you know, get my flowers weeded. They really need it. They're literally screaming at me right now. But I think I might have to wait till the morning for that because it's just so hot. I'm slightly dehydrated, which I know better than to let happen, but here we are. So last year I didn't have to water my garden like hardly at all because of the rain. Just when I planted stuff and it was a baby. And same with the year before, but my Farmer's Almanac, if you don't use that, I usually follow that, and I usually plant by like the moon phases and frost dates, of course. But said it's going to be like a super hot, dry summer, so I kind of need to come up with a watering method. I have an irrigation system, but my hose is so far away. That's why I was thinking rain barrels and the solar power, but I'm not sure. I don't know what people do. And I don't know what I'm going to do if I ever get like my big garden out in my pasture. Maybe I can show you guys that. I have a whole section I want to make an orchard. It's really far though, but it's the perfect place, ideally, geographically. But as far as water and access, it's a bit of a hike. And I kind of wanted my garden out near my barn, but the water pipe to the barn broke. I had it teed off, so it's only going to my house and not leaking. But eventually, if I want to use that barn, I'm going to have that fixed. And if I have the garden out there, you know, I'll have to have that fixed. But if you guys are interested, I could show you like a tour of my property, or like my barn, or kind of my plans, or maybe what you guys think, you know. Show you all my mistakes. Because I've made a lot. When I first moved here, I totally planned on like documenting everything, and I've done so much on the inside of my house. I redid the kitchen. I've redone my bedrooms. I'm still working on a ton of stuff, but I just felt so awkward about it, and I don't know. This is actually kind of fun and easy. It's just like streaming, like talking to myself, except I'm not reading the chat. But I'll read your comments if you leave any, if anybody's out there. Or if I'm just filming this for myself, that's fine too. If anybody's in the woods listening to me right now, they're probably like, what the heck? Whatever. Now everything's looking a little bit dry. I fully suspected rain today and there's none. Though I do need to let that bed dry out that has the mold. There's a little bit in here actually on one of my summer squash. I'm seeing. Super annoying. I'm struggling everywhere, guys. The things that are thriving are the things that I didn't think would thrive. Isn't that weird? It's funny how that happens, right? Need to get some more better soil. God, it's hot AF. Whew. If I'm hot, imagine how my plants are. So, they're buried in the dirt, unlike me. Alright. Where am I? You see me? I think so. My phone may be overheating, but it's so bright that I can't see if you can see me. You definitely cannot see me. Sorry about that. Alright, guys. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for planting some cabbage and Swiss chard and dill with me today. This has been fun. And yeah. Using that, what did I say? The back was the dollar store. Mid was green Johnny seeds. Front two squares are red Johnny seeds. See which ones work. And I hope they work because I have so much seeds from Johnny selected seeds. Just haven't been able to plant them all, but I got so much weird stuff like kohlrabi and cauliflower, which I guess isn't that weird, but kind of difficult to grow. All right, bye.